You know, there's a line from the old MTV show, The Real World, that's been stuck in my head all week. This is the true story of seven strangers picked to live in a house. And honestly, lately, it feels like I've got seven different versions of myself all trying to live in the same brain. There's corporate Greg, fractional CMO Greg, marketer hub Greg, YouTube Greg, blog Greg, tactical truth Thursday Greg. And then somewhere in there, actual human Greg trying to remember what relaxing feels like. And this week, I kind of hit a wall, not in a dramatic throw the laptop into the ocean kind of way, although there were moments, but in a real world kind of way, the kind where your brain gets so loud that silence suddenly feels unfamiliar. And that happened to me in Arizona. So this weekend, my partner and I went out to Phoenix to visit his brother and sister-in-law. And on Friday, we did this kayak trip on the Salt River outside of Phoenix. Beautiful mountains, wild horses, peaceful water. And for the first time in, honestly, I don't even know how long, I didn't have my phone. Not I put my face down, not I checked it every 12 minutes, I mean gone. No text, no Slack, no email, no Teams, no LinkedIn notifications pretending to be urgent, no quick question messages that somehow require a 42-minute response, nothing, just me in a kayak, trying not to fall into a cactus. And somewhere during those 3 hours, my brain started doing something weird. It slowed down, and I realized something that I haven't wanted to admit. I think I accidentally built a second job instead of building the future I actually wanted. Because when I started in-demand consulting and Marketer Hub, it wasn't supposed to become more. It was supposed to become freedom. That was the point. I didn't start all this because I wanted more notifications, more dashboards, more content calendars, or more pressure to constantly feed the algorithm like it's some kind of digital Tamagotchi from 1998. I started this because I'm 53 years old, about to turn 54, and I wanted to build something for the next chapter of my life, something meaningful, something flexible, something where my experience actually mattered in a world that suddenly feels obsessed with whatever 23-year-old AI growth hacker figured out a new chat GPT prompt. And I think that's the niche I finally understand. That's what the Marketing Encore is really about. It's not just marketing tips. It's not just pop culture analogies. It's not just top 5 AI tools for 2026. There are already 700 million people making these videos. This channel is really about something else. It's about what happens when you're a 50-plus marketer trying to reinvent yourself in the fastest changing business environment we've ever seen. That's the story. That's the real world. Because let me tell you something, being a marketer in your 50s right now is weird. We grew up in the era of print ads, direct mail, radio, TV campaigns, early websites, SEO, social media, smartphones, influencer marketing, and now AI shows up like the new cast member halfway through season 14 of a reality show, and suddenly everybody's pretending they understand what's happening. Meanwhile, a lot of us are sitting there quietly wondering, hey, am I still relevant? And that's the conversation I want to have. Honestly, openly, without pretending I've got everything figured out, because I don't. Right now, I'm actively rethinking the structure of in-demand, the future of Marketer Hub, the amount of content I'm producing, how often I'm producing that content, how I'm using my team, how I'm spending my time, and honestly, what success even looks like moving forward. Because somewhere along the line, productivity became performance art. And marketers are really bad about this. We convince ourselves that more posts, more videos, more funnels, more automations, more meetings, more platforms equals progress. Sometimes it just equals exhaustion with branding. And I think I've been feeling that. Not burnout exactly, more like misalignment. Like the business model and the life model started drifting apart. And here's the crazy part. The 3 hours I spent floating down a river without my phone felt more productive than some entire weeks I've had recently because clarity showed up. And the clarity was this: I don't want to build a giant agency empire. I don't want 75 employees. I don't want to spend my life managing complexity. What I do want is to build a smart, focused business around fractional CMO work, coaching, strategy, storytelling, and helping businesses grow while using technology like Marketer Hub as an enablement platform, not the entire identity. That's different. And I think a lot of people in their 40s and 50s are quietly going through this exact same thing right now, especially high achievers, especially marketers, because we spent decades climbing ladders. And then one day you wake up and realize you might not even like the wall your ladder is leaning against anymore. So here's one of the changes I want to announce. The Marketing Encore is moving to Mondays. Yep, starting now. Marketing Encore Mondays. Because honestly, Sundays started feeling like pressure, and Mondays felt like intention. Mondays felt like, here's what I learned, here's what I'm thinking, here's what's changing. And moving forward, the content is going to get even more focused around life as a 50-plus marketer, AI and reinvention, second acts, entrepreneurship, personal branding, fractional leadership, burnout, relevance, creativity, and navigating this completely insane marketing landscape we're all living through. We still have Tactical Truth Thursdays, the marketing mindset, in-demand insights, and I'm even thinking about doing live Friday conversations on YouTube. Less polished, more real, more community, kind of like this episode. Because maybe that's what people actually want right now. Not perfection, not guru energy, not another fake LinkedIn post that starts with, I was humbled today. Nobody was humbled. You just want engagement. I think people want honesty. This channel is probably going to evolve in public. You're going to watch me figure it out in real time, which honestly feels very real world to me. No script, no perfect roadmap, just somebody trying to build a meaningful second chapter without losing themselves in the process. And maybe that resonates with you too. Maybe you're also rethinking your career, your business, your priorities, your relationship with work, or who you want to become next. If so, welcome. You're in the right place. And maybe the real encore isn't about doing more. Maybe it's about finally doing what matters. All right. I'll see you next Monday for the next episode of the Marketing Encore.